Yeah, what's up, kids and queens? Back again. And I just want to tell you, I had a lot of buffering, right? My network is very poor today. It's not giving me the right vibes, but I hope you catch a lot of what I'm going to say, right? We wanted to talk about, as usual, we will talk about the Mayweather case, right? You know, uh, he has been on the stand for like 2 weeks, but what is clear is the evidence is not proper. And then I will show you as we go through the maps of the towers and the maps showing the distance between Villeria Police Station and Palma Flats, right? Now, you're not going to see my face today because the device I'm using to capture it's giving me a lot of lag, right? So there's a whole lot of freezing involved with my picture. So I said I'd rather just show you through Google Chrome. Right now, what we're going to look at is maps from uh, a website which maps the towers of cell phone companies. Right, these towers are mapped, and we are told each tower has some cells or some units or some sectors. These sectors cover a certain area, and then if let's say a phone is in Villeria, there are towers that will cover actually Villeria, and then if the cell phone is in Palma Flat, there are towers that will capture that. Meaning, a tower in Villeria cannot capture a phone that's in Palma Flats because rather than that happening, what can happen is that phone will catch the next tower, the nearest tower, rather than that one. And then, as you can see, there's a lot of those towers, right? Let me just magnify to show you the towers that cover Villeria. This is Villeria, right? This area here, and then the police station. I want to show you where the police station lies. The police station is just around that curve on a road called, let me just magnify it, Terra Blanche Street. Yeah. You see, Terra Blanche Street is this street coming this way. And then this is the tower, right? This tower is the one that can cover Villeria Police Station, right? Now, we click on the tower. This website is called cellmapper.net, right? This is where you find all the towers and then their cells, the way they cover the a certain area. Let's take, for example, this tower that's next to Villeria, which is called 355331. Right, this tower covers when you go to sell. This tower covers this area that's highlighted. Let me just make it a little smaller so that you can understand what's going on. Right, I went too deep. Right now, when a cell phone is like this, right, when a tower is like this, you see this one has cell 10 and then it has cell 30. Those two cells. So those two cells, if you select them, it will show you which area is covered by those two cells. I just want to go in to scope in into the area so that you can understand how it covers that area. Just bear with me. Now, before I go to these towers maps, like and show you the cells, I just want to show you the distance between Villeria police stations and Palma flat. It's about 2 kilometers or something. But that distance doesn't really matter because the tower in Villeria will be covered by a certain tower. In fact, the first cell phone in Villeria will be covered by a tower that's in that area. You see, it's about 2.81 kilometers from Palma to Villeria police station. And this cell phone of accused number two, right? It was at that area, Palma Flats, around the 18th and the 19th. And guess what? Something came into my mind and say, ask yourself, why was this phone off like for these 2 days, right? And then I went to the calendar. On the calendar, you find out that on the 18th and the 19th, it was a weekend. Guess what? This was a cop off at his place. And then he was dumb enough to leave that phone on for the whole weekend. What I think maybe his intention was he was trying to like listen or to wait for whichever call might come through in that cell phone. But unwittingly, he's letting us know that the cell phone is with him, right? The cell phone is with his in his possession, right? As you can see in this calendar, the 18th and the 19th was on a Friday and a Saturday. And then the phone picked up another tower, which is different on around the 20th, right? So this shows us that somebody who lives by those flats had that phone, right? And then let's look at now what Ramusepilo was talking about, right? Ramusepilo was asking that lady about the the sections, the sectors, in fact, sectors that a tower covers. A tower will have like inside one tower, there could be like two, three, or four sectors or cells, as they name it in this website. And these towers will be divided in that way to cover certain areas determined by those sectors, right? I want to go to the one that covers, yeah, this is Terebrancho Road. This one, this tower 327261, right? It covers, I just want to show you by the cells. When you go to cell, I think cell 10, right? You can see which area it covers, right? It covers this area, including the Villeria Police Station, up to Murekhlu there, or Moglu. I don't know how they call that place. Maybe I'm butchering it. And then I want to click again on another cell in the same tower, where we find out that it expands, right? covers another area. As you can see, there are two areas which are highlighted there. Now we go to another one. This one's got 3 cells. We go to cell 30 of the same tower. It's highlighted again. I just want to bring it to the middle. This is where then now we see another area, that's the third area which is covered by the cell 30. Right. Now, if you're looking at this, let me just make it smaller. And then move it to the side. After moving to the side, I just want to show you what makes it difficult for me to accept that that phone was with Ntanzi in the cells. Because if it was in the cells, covered by those 3 blocks, right? There's those 3 cells, cell 80, cell 10, cell 20, right? In the tower, which is called, let me just go to its name. In that tower, which is called ENB ID 3553331 macro LTE, right? You see that it covers a certain area only. And then that area of Palmer Flats is covered by another totally different tower. Let's just go to it. Now, Palmer Flats is around this area, right? See where Roseville is there? Let me just go to Google Maps so that we can see proper. Sorry if my voice keeps going away, but just concentrate on the map so that you can capture what I'm trying to tell you. I know I keep facing it from the mic and it's cutting off my voice. Also, bear with me that there will be a lot of buffering, right? Because the network is, I think it's congested. So I have to schedule my live later so that there's a less peak on the network. Right? You see, it is there. It's around Swimmer Street, the Palmer Flats, right? Now, if we look at the Palmer Flats on the map of the towers, let's check its cells now. And then from its cells, we'll be able to see which area it covers. There it goes. This is the area which is covering Palmer Flats. Right. The tower covers that area in cell 20. And then when we go to cell 30 in the same tower, it covers that block. You see that small area that just got highlighted? Let me just zoom in a little bit. That black area. Now, let me just check if everything is lining up proper. Yeah. From there, we go to cell 101, the same tower. And then this one covers this area. You can see it doesn't even go to that area where Villeria is located, right? Villeria Police Station. Meaning, one cell phone will be covered by a certain tower, a certain cell in a tower, right? So the story that was brought by the state is just self-defeating, because if, let's say, Ntanzi was in the Villeria police stations and he had that cell phone on the 18th and the 19th, how is it possible? How is it possible that when it's used inside the Villeria police station, it captures a cell a cell phone tower that's meters away, in fact, kilometers away. When there are more than like three, four, five other towers before you reach that area, it shows clearly somebody other than Ntanzi had that phone in their possession. Right. Now, I hope you understand how the cell towers work with their sectors, because their sectors, there could be three or two or four sectors in a tower, and each sector has designated areas which it covers. This was what Ramsepeli was asking that lady about, right, Pinky, right? Now, when we look at uh, Mr. Ngomezuli's question to the lady, right, about whether she was able to provide, in fact, not whether she was able to provide, why hasn't she testified about the information regarding the people in the house, right? Section 205s that were requested by that surgeon. The letter that she was made to read, right, from a certain police station, a policeman who was requesting information of the people in the house, the people who were with Senza, right, on the fateful day. That lady now decided to tell us that information was not requested from her. Now, what can you deduct from this? If somebody is saying that information was not requested from her, yet she just read a letter addressed to her company telling them we need information regarding these people. So my conclusion is, from this you can draw that the state, being Kibaloi and Keninda, whoever, they are using rather the cell phone data of people who were not in the house, who were not suspect to start with. So the first people who came to the scene, right? I think they had made up their mind that these are the people that we need to investigate. Hence that letter requesting, that affidavit requesting information from Vodacom. But it's probably there, that information. But the problem is Pinky did not testify on it. The state did not even lead her on that information because it won't work in favor of their case, the case that they are trying to push now. Now, if we think about Pinky's evidence, right? She was saying she's an expert, but I could hear when she was facing questions that were of a technical nature, she was breaking down. When she was saying, no, for example, I cannot go deep that technical, like deep into the technical arena, but I know something I was taught in university, whatever. It doesn't really provide us with the surety because she can't really explain that thing that Ramsipili was asking her about the sectors, right? If she knew how to explain it, she would have told Baloi and Sibanda that, guys, it will be futile for us to try to lead this evidence, trying to make a connection with these guys based on what I'm seeing here, because those people, okay, they might have called each other, but you have to understand how a cell tower works. A cell tower has sectors, and each sector covers a certain area. So if you are trying to force matters and say no. Accused number 3 was in Ben Rose at a certain time, and then they switched off their phone. And then around the time of Senzo's murder, there was no activity, and then around 30 minutes later, it was somewhere else. It doesn't really give us a clear picture of what was happening there, and it doesn't really give us the benefit of the doubt that that guy is the one who was there, or he was ever there around that time. Now, in Ntanzi's case, it made the state's case weaker because now we can see, looking at the towers, right? There's no way that a cell phone of a person who's claimed to be injured, there's no way that the phone can be able to make another call or to catch a tower, to lock onto a tower at Palma Flats, which is like 2.81 kilometers away. And between those areas, there are 3, 4 more towers, which that phone could have caught on to, rather than the one in Palma Flats. So it's a clear and straightforward assessment. That phone was used by somebody else than somebody who was not in the cells. Because if he was in the cells, it will consistently show Villeria Police Station tower, the towers around Villeria Police Station, but it doesn't do that. So, before I go in deeper, I just hope you cut what I'm talking about. The towers. The towers have sectors, and Pinky doesn't really understand, according to my knowledge, according to what I'm gathering from this website. She is either it's either she knows, she's just hiding it. She knows that a tower, if it's facing this area inside its sector, is going to only be dealing with that area. So I hope the defense can come up across and expect you can really make it clear to them that this is how it works, not the way Pinky's trying to make and the state are trying to make us believe that this works. I will just end the stream with those few words. I'm a little bit sketchy. You know, we haven't been posting for a while, but anyway, guys, enjoy the input that I'm bringing across. What I'm bringing across today is I'm trying to understand that the towers, the way the state is trying to make a connection between this suspect, it won't work because the towers have a certain way of working. The meters that they were bringing, like that the tower from which tower is how many, it doesn't really make sense because if a tower is designated to that area, it will only cover that area. And let's put aside the what you call the let's put aside the rural areas. Let's concentrate on the urban areas, right, which are congested, which have a lot of tower. There's no way that Ntanzi's phone could have been at Villeria and catch a tower in Palma Flat. It shows one of the cops, just like he was saying in his evidence in chief or testimony, that one of the cops had his phone. With those few words, I'm gonna say bye-bye. Let me just check my notes to see if I left something out. I might have just left something out. Please excuse the quality of my stream because the network is too heavy. I'm gonna have to go later when I'm streaming because the buffering is way too high. Yeah, here's another thing that I wanted to bring across to you. When Ramsipili was asking Pingin about the GPRS data information of Ntanzi, right, on a certain area, on a certain date. In fact, especially the date when Mokhane claimed they went to confiscate the phone at the cells, right? She said, Pinky said she's going to check. And it was evident that she was told that before recess. I remember she said she's going to check. And then Musram Sipil said she checked, but she was not able to find out, but she will check again. Now, what does this tell you? If she's going to check again, didn't we, like, I was under the impression that she brought everything. Everything that is needed concerning the accused is there. Now, if she's going to check, where is she going to check at? Those papers that she's checking it. Why weren't they brought? Why weren't they brought to court? So that the state and the defense can play open cards, right? See everything that the state is bringing across, and then the defense can formulate a better response. Why is she going to check? It just tells us that there's something that was not brought across. What tells us again that something was not brought across, something was hidden? That paper, when she was saying that paper cannot be shared, it's confidential, it's her information only. But we are under the impression that Pinky is here to assist the state to reach justice, right? To access justice for these guys. But it doesn't look that way. Now, it's amazing that the state wants to close this case, wants to, like, what can I say? It wants to put this case to rest, right? It wants us to believe that these guys are the guys. These are the culprits. But there's some information that they're putting, in fact, that they're hiding. They're only putting certain information across, hiding certain information. Why is that? I thought these guys were really for justice, but it doesn't look that way. Let me check again my notes and see what else I forgot. Yeah. She made it certain that this evidence that was led for 2 weeks by the state, it's not going to help the state, because when she was asked, both by Ramusepele and Mr. Mgomezu, can she say for certain it was that person who was using that phone that was accessing that tower? She said no. She said no, it cannot be said for certain. Now, what was the futility? What was the benefit of the state bringing that evidence and holding us at ransom with that evidence for 2 weeks? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, guys, I don't want to be too long. Let me just read what you guys are saying in the comments. I don't want to be too long. Hello, everyone. Special greetings. This is Timothy Moketing. Yeah, what's up, bro? What's up, my king? One love. It's been a long time. And Bruno Pora. What's up, bro? Good. I'm feeling great. The case is back. At least what I'm more grateful for is Pinky's no longer under the control of the state. Now she's being bombarded by questions, right? And if you are aware of her stance, it's the stance that was taken by most of the witnesses that came for the state. When it gets deeper, when it gets harder, they tend to say, I don't know, or they tend to shift the blame, say, no, I'm not an expert in that area. But we remember clearly, Rata was telling us, this lady is an expert, right? So I'm just hoping one of the defense come with very, very technical questions and then put them to her. Let's see what Rata will say, right? Now, let me just check. I just want to check my comments there. Okay. It is highly recommended. This is Timothy Mokit again. It is highly recommended that Advocate Munisi is updated about these new findings from your Excel research, unless you are willing to come to the doc as IT member. Come on, man. You know that won't happen. But the thing is, uh, I think these guys, they are professionals. They go to lunches, they go to like events, and they come across these people, IT technicians, and all these people. You can see. I hope that they came across somebody in IT. In fact, especially in telecoms, who can tell them how networks works and how towers works. It's clear that that phone was not with Ntanzi. It was at those flats. And to make it worse, the date is like the date it shows you. It's 18, 19th. That was a weekend. That means it was a policeman who was off. It was at his residence, as at his place of residence, chilling, and then he had the dumbness to leave the phone on for that whole weekend, right? Unwittingly letting us know this phone was with him. Because if it was with Ntanzi, it should be reflecting those towers around Villeria. Anyway, uh, thank you for that confidence, Bruno. In fact, Timothy. I hope they found somebody who can elaborate to them about this. But I think Ramos Sipili was on it because he's the one who made me aware of this sectors thing. The cells inside the towers. A tower can have 3 or 4 cells or 2, which covers designated areas. That's how it works. So if you just bring a whole lot of information, say cell phone number man was contacting cell phone number 2, cell phone number, and then they were at this area, and they were, but you don't give us the context that this tower that I'm talking about, it has this many cells, and this cells covers this area, this cell covers this area. They know if they do that, that jig is up, because if you are smart, you'll be able to make a nice deduction and tell, okay, that means if suspect number 3 was using Ben Tower on which cells, that means he was in this area. They know it will happen like that. This is one thing that I've just remembered that I wanted to put across. Right. The Nemo system. I just wanted to talk about the Nemo system. That system, in fact, the whole section 205 system of the cops and the courts working together to and the private companies to access your information, right? It's self-defeating if they're only going to bring the calls, the SMSs, and the receive calls and the outgoing calls. If they're only going to bring that, it's self-defeating because you can't make a cross-reference. I think it will have more body, more weight if that section 205 of the records of the calls, outgoing and ingoing, combined with, if it's paired, combined with the your data from the account. That like your data, how you uploaded your airtime, from which shop you bought that airtime, how much airtime you uploaded, and then the balances as you was going on. If that thing, the section 205 came like that, I think it will be proper, because as a lawyer you will be able to make cross references and see, okay, they said this cell phone bought data at this area, yet they're saying after 2 minutes it was at a tower 500 meters away or 5,000 kilometers away. It will make it easy for a lawyer or for the defense or for a defendant, whoever, who's helping to answer for the activities, if their cell phone data is placed in record on court. They don't do that. They just bring you the calls, and even the calls, with the calls that are bringing, there's no what you call, there's no content of the calls, there's no content of the SMSs, so it's just calls. It's just activity. You just see activities. This call this number, call this number, and using this tower. It's half information, because even with that information, they don't tell you this tower. It has maybe 3 sectors, and then this sector was covering this area. This is where that cell phone, that owner of the cell phone or the cell phone was. They don't do that. Anyway, yeah, Ramsepeli, I could see that question lit up my ears and lit up my eyes, and say, okay, man, there are sectors in a tower. So a tower doesn't wholeheartedly cover the whole area and blanket the whole. It doesn't. There are sectors. Now, I did have to go and check what was he talking about. Then I came across this website. So, guys, we now know that Pink is just there to just waste our time. Even the state is just wasting our time. Let's see what Mr. Munisi and Advocate Mushololo will come through with tomorrow. And then Advocate Munisi probably, if he's not Advocate Munyeki. Guys, the stream, I hope, was okay most of the times, even though I can hear there are some buffering events going on. But I hope you got the message. Before I go, please like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell so that when I drop more content like this, you are in the loop. Peace.